Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. As always, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow the channel and share the channel. It helps me out greatly. So today we're on, if you see the thumbnail, for game 3 NBA Finals preview. We'll just want to do some, quick stuff on this before we got the game 3 tonight. So I just wanted to get a video in, before game time. So let's talk about how we got here. Game two. Game two was like one of the most interesting NBA Finals games I think I've ever seen. Both teams were up double digits at one point. The Spurs, once again, just like game one, were up double digits early in the first half. They let the Knicks come right back. And then the Knicks ended up taking the lead. And if I'm going to be completely honest, it felt like they had control of the series in that third quarter. OG Anunoby got it going. Mikal Bridges could not miss. Like, he literally could not miss. If it was not for Mikal, I think this series is tied at 1. But because he did shoot the you know what out of the ball in game 2, the Knicks are up 2-0 comfortably right now. The fourth quarter. So the fourth quarter was interesting as well because the Knicks had control of the game until Stephon Castle shot a midi and faked like he got fouled and fell to the ground and actually got hurt. So once he got hurt, he got subbed out, and the Spurs went with their 3 guard lineup of Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox, and Devin Vassell. Now this lineup went on a crazy run. Like, it was like a 2-minute span where they just like completely just took away a 14-point lead. And at that moment, I thought maybe this game was the Spurs to have. The fourth quarter, midway through the fourth quarter, it was like a 5-point game, 3-point game in that area. And then Wemby came down on a Harper drive. He hesitated a little bit, but he found Wemby for an and one, tied the game. And actually they went up 1, I think. From that point, I thought the Spurs had the game. I literally thought, okay, they got it now. But in the back of my mind, I also was worried Jalen Brunson might do some Jalen Brunson stuff. And fortunately for the Spurs, Jalen Brunson did not. What they actually ended up have happened was Mikal started running point guard for some odd reason. Why, I have no idea. Why Mikal Bridges started running point guard is beyond me. I was thinking Mike Brown's selling right now at that point. Jalen Brunson's in the 3-point corner, and I'm like, why? Cat is just like not in the play at all. I'm like, why? And then Mikal tries to go 1-on-1. If anybody that watched the Knicks, you know Mikal Bridges is not a 1-on-1 king or of any sort. 1-on-1 for Mikal, 1-on-1 for OG at the top of the key. We do not want that at all. But they were doing it. And the Spurs had the game in hand, in my opinion. It was a tie game, but they literally had control. Wemby came down, missed the three, tried to get a 2-for-1. I mean, a mid-range on a 2-for-1. Bad shot. Don't know what the Spurs are drawing up there. They come down. Brunson ended up getting the ball this time. He missed the shot. Wemby gets the rebound. And this probably was the play of the game, unfortunately for Wemby. He gets the rebound. And instead of giving the ball to De'Aaron Fox, who was waiting for it, or Stephon Castle when he originally looked at him, he kind of looked off everybody, looked up court, didn't have anybody, and then he tried to get it to Castle at the last second. And by then, it was too late. The ball was already selling towards Castle. Castle was already facing the other way. And you know who made the greatest play in this moment, or who made the best play in this moment, was Jalen Brunson. Now, if you watch the video slowed down, Jalen Brunson sees that Wemby throws the ball away, but he didn't make any reaction with his face or any body language that would show, hey, I'm going for that ball that's wide open. So Castle was looking towards Brunson, and Brunson just played it cool like nothing was going on. And then at the last second, he like went forward when Castle's momentum was already going forward. He went the other way and took it. and Wemby did what Jabari Smith did against the Lakers and what Jayshawn Tate did against the Lakers in that same play. Wemby gave the ball away and he fouled the Knicks in the bonus immediately. So they ended up shooting free throws. And Brunson went to the free throw line. Shout out to who's this? Eva Lewis. Hello. Hello, mate. How you doing? Brunson goes to the free throw line and he actually went 1 for 2, which surprised me, not gonna lie. I thought he was gonna make both, and like the Spurs would need a 3 to win and 2 to tie. But he missed both, which ended up leading to all the Spurs need now is a bucket, and they just leave the arena with a win that they probably should not have gotten. Mitch Johnson draws up what I think was a cool play. Not the best of plays, but it was a cool play. You got what you were looking for. He drew up a Fox and Wemby pick and roll for Wemby to get a catch and shoot jumper, essentially at the buzzer. They had to take the ball out on the right side, and we all know De'Aaron Fox is a left-handed player. So if you're gonna make a pass for him, a great pass for him will be going opposite with his left hand passing it, or on the strong side with his left hand passing it. They made a play to where Wemby set a screen from the left side, and instead of actually setting a real screen, he kind of ran between both defenders, which was kind of smooth. He ran between both defenders, got to the elbow at the free throw line, and Fox hit him right in time, and he got a great look at it. It just back rimmed, Wemby flopped, fell to the ground, no call, game over. Now it was 7.5 seconds left, and I see a lot of people like saying like, "Oh, they should have ran this, they should have ran that," and I'm like, "Hi, have a good day, never give up. Always matter to know what to some people, no matter what to some people." Hey, shout out to you. You're spitting. Shout out to you. Appreciate that. Um, some people were saying that the Spurs could have ran something different, should have got Wemby close to the basket, but in reality, I mean, that's the best you're gonna get. Your best player with the mid-range shot that he's capable of hitting. We've seen him hit that game winner before, like a shot right there for a game before. Especially in the regular season. I do remember a shot specifically from that spot where he caught the ball, he let the clock go down a little bit, he jab stepped, he shot it, game time at the buzzer. So to me, it was a fun shot. It just did not go. Now, if you want to have a gripe, I think the gripe would be that Wemby did not roll on that play. Because if he would have rolled, like he had the paint was open. Josh Hart for some reason was playing Stephon Castle a little too close, in my opinion. Why was Stephon in the game? Don't know. He was Why is he there for being a spacer? I don't know. Maybe Mitch just thinks he's a clutch shooter, maybe. I don't know. But either way, if you had a gripe, I think that gripe would be that Wemby did not shoot the ball a little closer to the basket, which is fair, but the only way to have done that is he would have had to have rolled on that pick and roll. And instead, like the play was run for them to pop. I just know it was because coming out of that timeout, De'Aaron Fox was kind of signaling with his hands to Wemby, like, hey, be right here. Don't do this. Be right here. And I think that was actually the play. They ran it to perfection. It just they didn't make it, but that's fine. So now we're here 2-0 Spurs. I mean, 2-0 Knicks at home in Madison Square Garden, where President Trump is supposed to be in attendance. Now, I did see that because he's in attendance, they have to up the arena security. And I mean, if you've been paying attention to what's going on in New York for these playoffs, I think one of the coolest moments has been that their fans who are, I'm gonna say it, I be hating on the Knicks and I be hating on the Knicks fans, but they are top 5 in the NBA easily. Like when it comes to like maybe aura is not the right word, but like their dedication to their team, like they're top 5 to me in the NBA right now. The only other teams that I think I could put above them are probably the Lakers, the Spurs, and probably that's it comfortably. Maybe the Celtics a little bit, but yeah, top 5 easily. And the fact that they won't be able to have the outside watch parties, the Raptors when they were winning is a good one too. They won't have their outside watch parties. That's kind of a bummer. But I did see that the Knicks did let their fans come and watch their open practice for the NBA Finals on yesterday, which was cool too. Now I did make a tweet that jokingly said Spurs in 7 because of that. Anyway, game 3 expectations. What do I expect for game 3? I expect it to be a close game. I expect both teams to have a gear that or continue the gear that they've had defensively because that's kind of where these first two games are won on the defensive end. In either team's offense have just gotten loose in a way. I mean, the Knicks have had longer stretches, in my opinion, of having sustainable offense, productive, positive offense. The Spurs have been like hit or miss in stretches with a player getting hot per se. Like Wemby had a quarter or two where he was hot, and that kind of sustained them. Fox had a moment where he was hot. Uh, Devin has not gotten off, which hopefully for the Spurs he does in New York. Castles, his like the offense just not been there. Dylan Harper has, which I've had this thought come across my mind. If I were Coach Mitch, would I start Dylan Harper in game 3 down 2-0? A part of me says yes, I would. I would take Julian out of the starting lineup. But then the other part of me is like, hey, we got here with this. Like, let's not give up on it now. But you do see coaches say, hey, forget it. Like, we got to try something different if, like, the first two games didn't go our way, especially at home. So, like, it's one of those instances where if they lose game 3, for sure, game 4, their starting lineup would not be the same. So, in my mind, like, why not just do it now? Like, let tonight be the night where like everything matters. Like it's all out right now. Um, so I expect both defenses to be locked in. I expect Carl Anthony Towns to continue what he's been doing as the best player for the Knicks this series. I expect Wemby to pick it up a little bit more. I think there's a little more that he can do out there that he has not been able to get off yet. The isolation stuff I think should slow down unless his three ball is just falling and he can get some off the dribble 3 pointers up. I don't think he should be in isolation that much because all he's doing is settling for jumpers. And like, what's the point of the isolation from a 7'5" guy if you're just gonna shoot jumpers every time and they're not going in? That's the problem. I would expect Stephon Castle to be more assertive, more aggressive offensively. I hope De'Aaron Fox is assertive from the beginning. If De'Aaron Fox is assertive from the jump and his shot is falling, then I think the Spurs will come out with a win, just like in Game 7 of OKC against OKC. It's not the fact that Fox was just 5 for 7 or 7 for 8 in the first quarter. It was the fact that he was shooting them, shooting early and confident early, and I think that goes a long way into the Spurs of mental space offensively. When De'Aaron Fox is aggressive, I think this team they just have another gear that they're capable of hitting. Um, the ankle at this point, I feel like that logic is out the window because we in must win territory now. It's just like game 7 at OKC. Like nobody cared about the ankle in game 7. We're here. We got to get it done. Now I think they will have a game 7 mentality in game 3. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite them in game 4. But we got to take it at a game at a time. I think game 3, the Spurs come out and I think they don't clip me up if this does not happen because I truly believe the Spurs are going to come out in this game and dominate from start to finish. I think they're going to have control of the game, and I think they won't let go of the game. Now, I do think the Knicks will go on a run, of course, but I do think for the most part the Spurs will control most of the game, and I believe that because the first two games the Spurs have shown that I think they're the better team overall. Now, the Knicks have the better offensive groove right now, but I think the Spurs have the better team. It's just they have not displayed it yet in 4 quarters of basketball. So I think they go on the road. They're better. They have better focus for some reason this playoffs on the road. I did expect them to lose one of their games. We got a 4-1 Knicks. Oh wow, Knicks in 5. I chose me. Said Knicks in 4. Knicks in 5. 4-1. Sheesh. I mean, at this point, I mean, it makes sense to be this confident. You're up 2-0 and you're headed back to the crib. More, I chose said, where'd it go? I chose me said more grit and gritty basketball, nothing cute. Now, I do think that is the key for the Knicks to get out of this series and potentially get a sweep. Now, if they can make it an ugly game, I think that favors them because it wears on the Spurs more. Like Wemby gets tired late in the fourth that way. And if Wemby's tired, we've seen what it looks like when he's tired. Like it could be some nasty ball. Game one in the fourth quarter was some nasty ball from Wemby because I think he was tired. I think he kind of mentally drained himself after that game seven win against OKC, which I mean, young guy understood. Now I think for the Spurs to get this win, I think they're gonna have to do what they did against OKC, push the ball. I'm not sure why they are so intent on like not pushing it this series. I feel like that would have been a point of emphasis from the jump. Now I do get that the Knicks have some great transition defenders in Josh Hart, OG Ananobi, Mikal Bridges. But I feel like there are there are ways that they can exploit the Knicks, and they're just not doing it yet. Maybe that's because the guards aren't having the best of play right now, but that should not be the reason. Like the Spurs should get off, and I think they will tonight. I think they'll make an adjustment on who Wimby's guarding. I don't think they will be sticking with him on Cat much longer. I do think that Josh Hart is the key to this game. If Josh Hart plays more than 20 minutes, I think the Knicks lose. If Landry Shamet plays more than 25 minutes, then I think the Knicks come out with a win. If Josh Hart is not like, if they're not sharing minutes, like the Knicks need Josh Hart off the court, the Spurs need him on, and I think that's kind of what is going to swing the game. If Josh Hart plays a lot of minutes, I expect the Spurs to win. But I also do think that they're if it's clear that they're winning because of that, Mike Brown's gonna yank them. And they're gonna go to that 5 out offense. And we seen how that looked in game two against Wimby. In stretches, he was looking useless on defense because they just had him running around, and that's not what he wants to do. I chose me said Wemby has to play the five instead of trying to play the three and shoot the three. Spurs need Wemby to dominate in the post on both ends. I do agree that they need him to dominate in the post. I just don't think it has to be on both ends. But I do think they do need him to do more on the offensive end in the paint. Like there was one play in the second half of game two where Wemby had a small on him, which technically everybody's a small to him, but it was a guard or one of the small wings. I think it was Mikal. He had him on the block in the paint, and somebody missed him on the initial pass. He said, "Remember, I said the bridges will be decided. Oh, be the deciding factor. Unsung hero. He definitely was the unsung hero in game two, and I'm surprised more people have not been talking about him since game two because his game two was elite. Like without Bridges, they lose game two clearly because Brunson has not been bringing it overall. Cat came and went in that game in game two. First half he was great. Second half he would kind of disappeared because of foul trouble. Mikal got them the lead in the second quarter, and then in the third quarter he was holding it down offensively, which was cool because they wasn't doing the isolation stuff for him. He was just getting it in the flow. And then that fourth quarter, he tried to take over off the dribble, and it's like, brother, don't do that. Can't even tell anymore for real. I'm not even sure what that means. Um, but that play where Wemby had a small on him in the second half, somebody missed him on an initial pass. I think it was Fox missed him on an initial pass. Fox passed it over so that they can lob it into him. Julian missed him the first time, and then he finally got it, but he was already pushed out to the 3-point line. He took a bad three, and I think he airballed it. Stuff like that, the Spurs just have to be better with where they get Wemby the ball and how quick they get him the ball. Like, as the season has went on, it's gotten better, but game two, I feel like there was a few stretches where they just went back to the old way of doing it. Wemby is injured tonight anyway. What are you talking about? He's not injured. He said, "Yes, I'm transitioning into positivity. You should join us." Oh, these must be two Knicks fans or something. Um, Either way, I think the Spurs should, if they want to continue this series, because if the Knicks win tonight, this series is over clearly. I think that the Spurs come out and they treat this like a game 7. And I think with them treating it like a game 7, I think they dominate this game. And I think we see one of those all-time performances from Wemby, where win or lose a series, he's giving you one of those. And I think this is going to be that one of those. First game in Madison Square Garden, he understands the magnitude of being in that arena. The Spurs do as well. They're young, but I think they understand that. I think the Knicks might be a little too hyped. That could be a problem. And to me, the way that they've been guarding Brunson, if that continues, then I definitely think that the Spurs win this game. The Knicks are gonna need Brunson to be like regular season Jalen Brunson in these next 2 games, because I think the Spurs are gonna give you everything they have, and in doing so, you're gonna need something to combat what they're gonna present. And I think Jalen Brunson is gonna need to be who he is to do that. Gifted $5. Appreciate that. I'm not sure how I find that, but I don't see it. But if you did, appreciate it. Appreciate that. Yeah, they're gonna need Jalen Brunson to overcome what I think Wimby's about to put on display, and even then, that might not be enough. But if the hopefully the refing allows some physicality today. I don't want to see like those quick whistles. That would suck. That would drain the life out of this game. Um, which they've been letting a lot go this series. Oh my god. There's been stretches in this games where I'm like, are the refs even caring about fouls anymore? Like, I think Richard Jefferson mentioned it in the game. He was like, I think the refs have just said everything's okay. Like, there's no fouls. The rest of this game, no more fouls. So let's see how the refing goes. Hopefully, it's not as bad as it was in San Antonio. You could tell that they were trying to get the Spurs a W in San Antonio. Shout out to those people that think the NBA rigs games. But I do think the Spurs need this one clearly. I think they're gonna come out with that mindset. I think they're gonna give you everything they have. I think Dylan's gonna come off the bench, have a great game. I think Wemby and Fox are gonna start them off right. I think Julian is gonna get more shots up from the 3-point line. I think Castle is going to be way better, which is not really saying much at this point because his first 2 games were duds. But I think that's the route we're gonna see the Spurs give us one of their best performances of this series, and I think it leads to a Spurs win, which will lead us to a 2-1 series, and then from there, Game 4, it's go time. I think that game, if the Spurs win tonight, I think Game 4 is going to be one of the best NBA Finals games we've ever seen. So hopefully the Spurs get the win tonight. I had Spurs in 5 originally. Clearly, I'm way off of that. Um, I'm rooting for Spurs in 7 because I don't want this series to end in 4 and like the NBA season just ends this way. That would be super anticlimactic to me. I want to see at least 5 or 6 games at minimum. Hopefully, we do get the series sent back to San Antonio, and hopefully the Spurs get the dub tonight. So, appreciate y'all for coming through. Appreciate the super chat. Somebody said they gifted $5. I'm not sure how to find that, but if you did, appreciate you. Appreciate y'all in the comments. Hopefully we get a good game tonight, and not to be biased, but go Spurs go. Y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and tap in with me. I might do one of these post game. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do one post game. Tap in with me post game. Instant reaction. Peace.